Good morning. Welcome to Elisa Maria Designs and welcome to Self-Care Sunday. This is my favorite time of the week. It's something that I really enjoy doing here on this channel. And during the week, I keep a day open, usually on a Monday, where I most definitely do some tapping. If you're not familiar with tapping, it was developed by Nick Ortner, and he has a application that you could put on your phone, a mobile app called the Tapping Solution. And there's so many categories that you can tap your way into, some peace and some calm. I did a lot of tapping when I was sick. It just helps interrupt those messages that you're getting in your brain. And it really helps calm you down. There were times that I was going through incredible grief. There were times that I was, in a funk or anxious about something that I was ready to do. And I would do my tapping, which just consists of, setting a statement of what you are, let's just say, anxious about. And you start with like a karate chop on your hand, on the side of your hand. Even though I am anxious, I'm willing to sit with this emotion. And then you move over to the eyebrows, side of the eyes, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, the collarbones, underneath the arm, and then the top of the head. So really, there's probably a billion, videos here on YouTube about doing tapping. It's something that has helped me immensely, and I always share everything that I know with you. And so there's on the mobile app, you could pay for the subscription, but there's also little free tapping solutions that you can do. But his sister, Jessica Ortner, does something called the Daily Inspiration, and it's just a talk. And she actually this week, on Monday, I believe it was, she read a parable that I was very familiar with. And it's called Maybe Yes, Maybe No. And it has to do with an old man and an old farmer and his horse. And one day the old man loses his horse because he runs away. And all the neighbors are gathering around saying, what bad luck, and the old man replied, maybe yes, maybe no, we'll see. And a few days later, the horse returned with 7 wild horses. And the neighbors were like, wow, what good luck. Maybe yes, maybe no, said the old man. The next day, the farmer's only son decided to get on one of these wild horses, which then threw him, and he broke his legs. And again, the neighbors are all gathering around. You know these people, right? I mean, I'm sure they were concerned. I mean, I think this is part of the parable. Part of the parable. Maybe yes, maybe no. Part of the parable. And the neighbors, they express such sorrow. Oh my gosh, what bad luck. Your only son, you're on the farm now by yourself. You lost the horse. The horse came back with these wild horses. And there's like this up and down. Oh, it's so sad you lost your horse. Oh, but look, he came back with 7. What good luck. What bad luck. Your son got on one and he broke his legs. And the old farmer says, maybe yes, maybe no. We will see. And soon after, the country found itself at war, and every able-bodied young man was drafted to fight. But the farmer's only son was spared because of his injuries. You must be so happy. What great news. Such luck for you and your family, said the neighbor. Maybe yes, maybe no. We will see. And so the parable reminds us of that we may not always know the way that something is going to turn out. And what seems like bad luck may have a silver lining. And this is something I learned, I think, during teacher training. I always believed that there was a silver lining to everything. I came to that realization that what I perceived as, you know, like, don't worry about it. There's something good coming around the corner at any minute, you know. And I would say things like, I have a pocket full of silver linings in my pocket. You want one? I'll give one to you. When somebody would be down, you know, like, there's a silver lining to everything. There's so many instances when I perceive something as being, you know, just anxious, or I don't want to do this, and it turns out being the greatest lesson that I've ever learned. Or it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Or it wasn't bad at all, and I actually learned something. Like, these are the spaces that, when we rub against things that make us feel tight and crowded, that we actually grow. Maybe not right away, but sure enough, you do. There's always a silver lining. And what seems like great news, I've been here too, may not turn out how we expected either. You know, so many times we set ourselves up for this great thing, this great time, this great party, this great, thing that we're going to do, traveling or whatever. And it just doesn't meet our expectations. And I had a friend once say to me, you know what, Elisa, I don't have expectations, because in this way I don't get myself upset. And I'm still on the fence with this. Should we have expectations? Should we expect things? Or should we just wait and see what's going to happen and be surprised? Now, John lives that way. When anyone invites John somewhere, he never gives them a yes or no answer. He's always like, maybe. Unless he doesn't want to go, he'll give you a definite no. He'll be like, maybe. This way, if he doesn't show up, you can't be mad at him. And if he does show up, you're so excited and happy to see him. Smart, right? Jumping to conclusions about whether something is good or bad is often not the wisest choice. So instead of rushing to conclusions or judging a situation, we can learn from the wise old farmer and to be open to the possibilities ahead. We can learn to say, maybe, we will see. And my old boss used to say that all the time. I love my old boss. You know, it was just him and I in the office, and he was like a second dad to me. He was at my wedding, and people were confused at who my real dad was, because that's how close I was to him. And I would get myself, we would do a lot of independent medical evaluations for insurance companies and lawyers, and I would get myself so worked up into these cases that we would go over, and I would be like, well, what do you think? And he would be like, Lisa, let's just wait and see what happens. And I'd be like, how could you wait and see? Aren't you worried? Like, what's the plan B or whatever? And he would say, Lisa, let's just wait and see what happens. And I would be so frustrated by that answer. You know, of course, I was like 27 years old, and I was frustrated. I wanted to know. You know, we need to know. We need certainty. And so, you know, we're also imaginative creatures, and our imaginations can lead us down a road that's very imaginative, very, very creative. You know, what is it that they say? What do they say? Like, the truth is stranger than fiction, you know, or you hear these stories. What was the most, I just saw a show, I think it was called American something, like American Horror. The story was so far-fetched. You couldn't even believe that it was true. Like, the girl was kidnapped, and they were blaming the boyfriend. And he was giving them this story about how this man came in the room with like a wetsuit on. They were like, oh yeah, okay, he killed her, you know? So, I mean, like, we're imaginative creatures. So like, just not knowing or needing that certainty or expectation or trying to pin a conclusion on something, if it's good or if it's bad, we should take a page from the wise old man. And maybe my old boss, Dr. Mattei, when he would say, Lisa, we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. So again, we just don't know how anything is going to turn out, and not having expectations about what might be good or bad certainly will give our nervous system, mental and emotional states a break. Like, I'm reading to you from my own journal. I'm not reading from a book. These are my notes. And Yeah, I do believe that to be true. John is always telling me that I worry too much, and you get all worked up, and you have, oh my God, these big stories that go on in your head, But when I wrote this morning about this Self-Care Sunday, and I did, write that, if we just wait and see before we try and label something, which is something that I'm working on. I'm trying. I just did a video this week. I'm like, oh, I think it was Monday, and I was like, oh my God, I'm trying not to put a label on things, and I please God take this label off of Monday from me. So let me stop blaming Monday for everything that's going wrong today. And so I am trying to not put labels on things, and so certainly being able to sit with something and not have any expectation. Like tonight, we're going out to dinner with two very close friends. John's childhood friend. They are so close. They don't even know when they met each other because their mothers were close. And John always says, I think Johnny just showed up in the crib with me because he's been around that long. I can't even tell you when I met him. He's always been there. But we're going out with their friends, and like I'm trying not to have any expectations about the night. It's always like, I don't know if you do this when you meet new people, what are they like? And, people always say, oh, you're going to love this person, you're going to get along. And it's like, oh my God, I can't stand this person. I'm sure I am freezing this moment because that was my face all night last night. We had such a great time, great people. I just fell in love with both of them. I'm going to love them. They're great people. I'm sure I'm going to love them. But did you ever get in that situation? Or maybe like when I was single and my friends would say, I want to set you up with this guy. I know that you two are just like made for each other. You're going to get along so good. And I'd be like, oh my God, here you go. Here come the 80s again. I need to make a phone call. You got a dime, because I'd be calling my girlfriend saying, you better get the hell down here, because she couldn't call me. There was no cell phones. I didn't have a beeper or anything. You better get the hell down here and tell me that there's some kind of an emergency and get me away from this guy because he's crazy. Or, she set me up with one guy and he was a magician. All he did was magic tricks all night. I was like, I'm going to kill you. And what made you think that me and this guy were going to get along so good? But okay, I'm getting sidetracked, but I always have some kind of goofy story that pops into this brain of mine. But I do think that if we try not to have expectations or put labels on things, because even if it's a good thing, even if we're dreaming a big dream, God has a bigger dream for us than we can ever dream for ourselves. So it's like, it's nice to dream, but you can't dream the dreams that God has for you. And he certainly wouldn't give you anything more than you can carry. And they're certainly like, oh yeah, that's what you think. Sit and talk to some people and you'd be happy for your problems when you say, oh my God, what am I complaining about? God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And what else did I write in my book today? Oh, so the next time you're faced with good or bad, a choice. Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Or someone, like the neighbors, wants to determine for you, oh, what good news. Oh, what good luck. Oh, what bad luck. Oh, what a shame. You have the perfect answer. Maybe yes, maybe no. We will see. It certainly will knock them off their center while you, dear one, maintain yours. So this was a super sweet, short self-care Sunday, and it was just great. 15 minutes. I still told you some funny stories too about my crazy life. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your fun day. John is upstairs practicing already. Maybe I can get some video time in, and maybe if he's nice and warmed up, he'll come and join me downstairs and play a little music in the background. A few of you had said, tell John to keep the jams coming. And I got to tell you, that really lifted his spirits. It really did, because it's been a while since he's been out on a gig. He's just waiting for that retirement to set in. I'll probably never see my husband because he's like hitting the road. Have a good one, my loves. Create the world that you want to live in. And I will see you, I'm sure, shortly.